Okay, so Quanta Services just dropped a massive quarter. We're talking record-breaking numbers. But here's the thing. This isn't just about a company's earnings report. It's a story about the incredible, almost unbelievable demand for energy that's reshaping our entire world. We're going to break down what's driving this whole boom and how Quanta is sitting right in the middle of it all.
All right, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the financials, let's just zoom out for a second. Because the real story here, the big story, isn't just one company's balance sheet. It's our planet's relentless and frankly ever-growing hunger for electricity. From our phones to our cars to the data centers that run our lives, literally everything is going electric. And that whole transition, well, it's just hit hyperdrive.
So what's really behind this massive surge? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm of factors. You've got data centers and AI, which are just unbelievably power-hungry. There's a huge push to bring manufacturing back home, which means more factories needing more juice. And then there's the electrification of everything else. And of course, the massive, urgent need to upgrade our old power grids just to keep up with it all.
Right, so all that demand, that's a huge opportunity, right? So the big question is, who's actually out there building the stuff to handle it all? And that, my friends, is where Quanta Services comes into the picture.
So what does Quanta actually do? Well, to put it simply, they're the pros, the specialists. They are the boots on the ground, the people designing, installing, repairing, and maintaining all the complex guts that move electricity and data for utilities, for renewable energy projects, you name it. Think of them as the expert builders on the absolute front lines of this whole energy transition.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine our whole modern economy is like this giant, buzzing, futuristic city, right? Quanta, they're the ones laying down the superhighways for all the electricity. They are literally powering everything inside that city. They're that fundamental.
Okay, so with all that as a backdrop, how is Quanta actually doing in this red-hot market? Let's take a look at their Q3 report card and see just how they're capitalizing on this energy boom.
Whoa. Okay, first up, the big one, the headline number. A record-shattering $7.6 billion in revenue for just one quarter. That is a massive figure, and it tells you everything you need to know about the incredible level of activity going on right now.
But big revenue numbers are only part of the picture, right? The company also posted a record $339.4 million in net income, and that is key. It shows they're not just busy for the sake of being busy, they're executing profitably, which is the sign of a really, really well-run machine.
And you can really see that growth right here. Just look at the jump from Q3 of last year to this year. It's, over $1 billion more in revenue in just a single quarter. That isn't just steady growth, folks. That's some serious, powerful momentum.
Okay, so where's all this cash coming from? Well, this chart makes it crystal clear. A whopping 81% of it is from their electric infrastructure work. This just proves it. Modernizing and expanding the power grid is the absolute heart and soul of their business right now. And the CEO, Duke Austin, he kind of boils it all down to one simple idea. He talks about providing certainty through world-class execution. And think about it. In an industry full of massive, super complex projects, just being the one company that everyone trusts to get the job done right, that's everything.
Okay, so big numbers and CEO quotes are great, but what does that world-class execution actually look like in the real world? Let's dig into a massive, tangible example that really brings it to life.
So get this. At the same time they're announcing these incredible earnings, Quanta drops another bombshell, a truly landmark deal. They've been chosen by NiSource, a major utility, to build all the power infrastructure for a brand new, massive customer.
And the key thing to understand here is just the insane scale of this project. We're talking about 3 gigawatts of power. To put that in perspective, that's enough to run a major city. And look at the scope. They're doing the whole shebang, from the power plants and battery storage all the way to the transmission lines and substations. This single project is basically a perfect showcase of everything Quanta can do, from start to finish. All right, so a record quarter, a monster new project, that's all super impressive. But what does it mean for the road ahead? Let's take a look at their pipeline and see what's coming next.
Okay, to really get a handle on their future, we have to talk about one key term, backlog. It's pretty simple, really. It's just the total dollar value of all the confirmed projects they have lined up to do. It is probably the best crystal ball we have for predicting a company's future revenue and its long-term health.
And Quanta's backlog is, well, you can probably guess, another record. It's now sitting at an unbelievable $39.2 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That's not just a number. That's a gigantic pipeline of guaranteed work that's going to fuel their business for years to come.
And having that huge backlog, well, it gives the company a ton of confidence. So much, in fact, that they've actually raised their revenue forecast for the whole year. They're now expecting to bring in between $27.8 and $28.2 billion. That's a huge vote of confidence in themselves, and a clear signal that this momentum isn't slowing down anytime soon.
So when you see a company like Quanta hitting record after record, revenue, profit, future projects, you name it, it's pretty clear it's pointing to something much bigger than just one company. And it really leaves you with a huge question. As our world's need for power just keeps growing and growing, is there even a limit for the companies that are out there building our energy future?